Elara was not a woman of the day. The sun was too bold, its light flattening the world into simple shapes and certainties. But the night was deep and honest. It held mysteries. Her small cottage sat on a hill far from the city's amber glow. Her most prized possession was not her bed or her table, but the massive brass-bound telescope that peered through her open roof like a silent sentinel. She was a cartographer of the void, mapping the slow, grand dance of the heavens. Most nights were a quiet communion. She would track the languid drift of a gas giant, note the flicker of a variable star, or lose herself in the velvet dust of a distant nebula. But tonight was different. A tiny new point of light had appeared in the cloak of Corona Borealis, a pinprick of brilliance where there had been none before, a nova. To the world below, it was nothing, a footnote. But to Elara, it was a cosmic shout in the perfect silence. A star, in its final, magnificent act of self-immolation, was screaming its existence across 1,000 light-years. It had died, and its death cry was only just now reaching her eyes. She felt a profound and lonely ache. She was the sole witness, the only soul on this spinning rock who knew the weight of this celestial event. Driven by an impulse she didn't understand, she carefully adjusted her telescope, attached a small digital camera, and took a long-exposure photograph. The next day, she printed it a stark black circle with that one brilliant new star at its center. She wrote 3 words on the back, "A star's last breath," and she pinned it to the community board outside the post office in the village below. Days passed. She returned to her vigil. One evening, as she was preparing her tea, she heard a soft knock. A young boy, no older than 10, stood there, clutching the photograph. "Is it true?" he whispered, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and wonder. "Did a star really go out?" Elara smiled, a rare, soft event. "Not go out," she corrected gently. "It transformed. It became more than it was, for one final, glorious moment. It made itself seen." She invited him in. That night, she showed him the nova through her telescope. She showed him the rings of Saturn and the craters of the moon. He left with a pocket full of constellations and a new light in his eyes. The next week, there were 3 people at her door, then 5. Soon, every clear Friday night, a small group would gather on her hill. She never charged a fee. Her only currency was their shared, silent wonder. Elara finally understood. She had spent a lifetime listening to the universe, thinking she was in a one-sided conversation. But she was wrong. She wasn't just a listener, she was a translator. Her purpose was not just to witness the slow constellations, but to share their stories, one awestruck human heart at a time. The sky was no longer a lonely place. It was a storybook, and she had finally found her audience.